Welcome to of Let's Play Farming Simulator 2013 on the Bairn Farm. Alright, we got a couple things going on today. First of all, our John Deere's just finishing up, well, he's done basically. He was finishing up the last fertilization of this field, so we currently got both of our fields fertilized there. As you can see, we got this one planted and that one planted. Let's get this little tiny bit of unfertilized soil. There we go. Don't know why he missed that, but he did. Perfect. Alright, let's go ahead and put this away. And, wow, look at that. 476 liters left. Just enough. Alright, let's just refill this while we're here. Perfect. Alright, so we are we have $434,410, which is roughly it's about $70,000 away from getting our field, because our field's about $502,000. So what we're going to do is I'm going to accelerate time quickly, just so these two fields are ready to harvest. I guess it really doesn't matter. Whatever. We'll just accelerate time to the next day at least. So we're nice bright and early in the morning. Good morning. Alright, so that'll give our plants a bit of a heads up. So obviously we planted wheat. Pretty sure it's wheat. Don't know why I always second guess myself. Yeah. And canola over here. And when those are ready to harvest, we shall do that. Now, we have our truck right here. He's ready to go, so let's go ahead and sell some wheat and see how much we get. I don't think there's a great demand or anything. I suppose I should have checked that before I accelerated time. Whoops. Barley in 4 days, potatoes, and chaff I think is the other one. We're not gonna give them chaff, so let's accelerate time just to the top of the hour, just for my own sake. And the reason being is because once I do that, it will allow me to try and get a full hour of selling stuff without the prices changing. Alright, so let's go sell some wheat. So we're aiming for $70,000. That is the area we're heading for. Hopefully we can get that. Not 100% on that, but it's where we're heading for. Had a couple comments from the last episode. As you know, I broke that episode into two parts. The only reason I broke it into two parts is just because it was a 50-minute recording session, and 50 minutes is a bit of a long time sometimes to watch a single episode, so I decided to break it out. That's usually my practice. When it's about 50 minutes is when I break it into two, but if it's like 40, I still leave it as one for whatever reason. I really should just be better at timing these things, but whatever. Alright, that was my phone if you heard that. Alright, so let's take a look at what some people said from the last episode. What do we got here? Craft Farm suggests that we chaff the straw, and that'll give us a little bit of chaff, obviously, for silage. Obviously, this in part two, I don't know if I do that or not. I think I collect it. What else do we got here? Greg Thomas says, doesn't the place where there is a great demand flash? Yes, it does flash. The problem is that the places where it flashed were both of my main silos. Someone else mentioned that it's a similar problem on one of the other OGF farms maps. So it's not just this map. It's apparently more than one of OGF's maps for whatever reason. So just keep that in mind. Alright, what else do we have? A couple other people said a couple things. Difty again wants me to get the Fent. We will get the Fent, don't worry, buddy. We just want to get the field first. Daniel Tazar says make chaff out of the straw. Blake Phillips says he rotates his fields all the time, which is what you're supposed to do. Have a proper crop rotation in place. Sorry, I can't do two things at once apparently. So, we do have some silage there as well. If you recall, I cut the grass out in the back behind one of our fields, and because we did all that grass or hay, we ended up with quite a bit. So basically what I did is I used the truck and I moved the grass from the bunker over there into the silage bunker to make silage out of it. And as you can see, there should be a full load. Whoops, a full load of silage. So 349,000. So these hold 350,000 each. I only did one because I think we didn't have enough for two. But now we have a crazy amount of silage. So if we need to sell some to put us up over 500,000, we have that option available to us. Let's just check to see what our stores are like. 7,000 liters of wheat left. It's going to be close. This will give us another, how much did that we get? 14,000. So we'll get another 14,000 from this. And then we'll probably be pretty darn close to it. Not, I don't know, it's hard to say. So we're getting about 14,000 per load, and we got about 3 loads, so that's 45. Yeah, we'll be close. We'll probably be just a bit under, so we'll probably have to sell 1 load of silage or something like that. And that'll just put us over the top in terms of getting $500,000. Maybe it would be actually a bit more than that, but we'll see how it works out, basically. All right, let's just sell. Oh, that was a bad turn. Oh, we're still good. Whew, thought I was gonna have to like reposition the whole trailer there for a second. All right, let's go ahead. Just gonna get a drink of water here for a second. All right, 460. 464. We're gonna be close. We're gonna crack 470. I don't think so. Nope. 468. So we have 1 load of corn to sell as well, and I suppose that'll be a similar amount, which is not quite enough. Yeah, so we're gonna have to sell some silage for sure then. Our cows don't bring us that much money, but one of the suggestions, as was previously mentioned, was to sell the cows and then just go full throttle into pigs. We already have the cows, and we would basically only get like half of our money back. So we already have everything set up for the cows. So I'm of the feeling just to leave it, but that's just me. All right, soon this field will be ours. Jeez, it's funny. I was reading an article in the Farmers Forum, as per usual, and one of the interesting articles was talking about what's it called? Neonicotinoids, I think it's called. Basically, it's an insecticide they put on corn and soybeans, and primarily corn, though, if memory serves. Basically, what they're saying is that particular pesticide is causing bees to. It's causing causing a drop in the number of bees that we have in Canada, at least. I think it's a similar situation in the United States, but it's interesting because some people are trying to do their part. One of the articles they focused on, or one of the farmers they focused on particularly in the article, was a guy who added a dust shield, or like they called it a dust shield, I think it was. And the idea behind the dust shield was to reduce the amount of dust produced, thus reducing the amount of this particular neonicotinoid. I can't say it properly, but it starts with an N, and it goes neonicotinoids, I think, or something like that. Anyways, and the idea is to reduce the amount of dust that goes out into the air. So the idea behind the shield was to direct the dust towards the ground, basically. And by doing that, it reduces the amount that gets out into the air and causes harm to the bees. Now, it's one step, and one of the interesting things they mentioned in the article was the fact that if farmers don't start taking precautions with this particular insecticide, they will, OMAFRA, which is the Ontario Ministry of Agricultural, Ontario Ministry of Agriculture and Farming, I think it is. If farmers don't do anything about it, what will happen is the government will get involved and start doing some bans of certain things and whatnot. So it will definitely be interesting if that does happen, because I don't know how that's going to affect farmers' yields of those particular crops, because farmers got to make a living too. So it's all a dynamic, what you might call it's all not a cycle, but ecosystem is the word I was looking for. It's a dynamic ecosystem, so everything has its place, and if you change one thing, it will create a muck with something else. So it all kind of depends on each other basically. So all right, we could sell a load of pigs too, actually. That would actually give us 30,000. What would be easier? We sell a load of... we actually need the pigs. Okay, so we'll sell a load of silage instead. And the reason why I say we need the pigs is because we need the liquid manure, basically. I don't want to let the manure storage go too low, or get too low, sorry. Because if we do that, then we won't be able to fertilize our fields properly. Which is not something I want to happen. Because if we don't fertilize our fields properly, then we don't get as much yield. Thus, we don't make as much money. It's a sad circle, if that does happen. Somebody actually made an interesting comment about using a placeable, what is it? A placeable slurry tank as a way of dealing with the slurry that I have at the BGA that I am not using at the moment. It was an interesting suggestion, and I've actually looked at that particular mod he suggested, and it is a pretty cool looking mod, but the problem is it is pretty big. But he showed me a screenshot of where he put it on his map, and let me see if I can find it. I have to remember where it is. I think it's in this corner back here somewhere. Between these two buildings. I think it was back in this corner right here. And then he had the I don't know what you call it. He had the place where you pick up the slurry from. I think it was on this side. And I think it was right here. Which is a good little spot for it, actually. I think it was here. Can't remember offhand. But it was a pretty cool little spot for it, and definitely would work well. So it's something we could consider in the future. All right, there we go. Perfect. We're gonna need to move our bobcat again. Nope, we seem to be good so far. It's funny, this conveyor belt mod's been around for a long time now, and I noticed Dirtabber has finally got around to reviewing this particular mod. He's a busy guy, so I can only assume it's just because he was busy and had other mods already in place to look at. But it just made me laugh because I've been using that thing for a long time now, and I'm sure other people have too. I'm not the only one. It's a fantastic mod, and I really, really like it. And if I were to compare that to using a front loader, yeah, that's a pretty easy decision for me. I think on every farm I play on, I think I pick it up at some point. That and the Bobcat together, they work really well. And of course you can use the Bobcat for other things as well, but I basically only use it for the conveyor belt, which is kind of funny when you think about it. It works for me. I can't complain about that too much, so yeah. But he did a good job talking about it. He actually used the trailer in his mod Spotlight. I never used the trailer, but it actually has a cool little function that allows you to slide out the conveyor belt away from the tractor, so you can kind of back up something to it, which is kind of cool. Like I said, I don't usually use it that way, but it's definitely a way you could use it. So it's pretty cool. Actually, I saw an interesting mod today, and it was supposed to be a realistic cows. That's how I could describe it. And basically what it was a script that you downloaded and installed, and what it did is it adjusted the values of certain things. So how much TMR the cows use, how much slurry they produced, how much manure they produced, how much milk they produced, all that stuff. It was kind of interesting. I don't know if I'd honestly be able to tell the difference. That's why I was kind of like, well, it looks like a cool mod, but I don't think I could really honestly tell the difference between before and after sort of thing. So, oh, are you serious? We're like $400 short. That's ridiculous. Oh well, we'll do another load, I guess. But it was interesting idea because it's trying to make the cows more realistic. Because I think that particular factor changes on a per map basis. So depending on the map you play on, it will change your it will change the values. But I'm not 100% on that. So that's just my feeling. Because some maps you do seem to get more milk than other maps. So I don't know if it's because of that or not, but oh well. But it seemed like an interesting mod. I may check it out. Not sure yet. It'd be kind of hard to know. Well, I don't know if it would be hard or not, but I'd have to like really have to like note the values and then see after the fact and whether it made a big difference or not. Oops, probably should have looked to see if it makes a difference or not. So it's hard to tell. But definitely seemed like something interesting, worth looking into. If you like the more realistic feel, check that out, I guess. It was a mod hoster mod, and I think it was one of the featured ones. Memory serves. Actually, in the same vein, that's my fancy word for today. In the same vein, Dirt Tybers actually did a new recent mod, Spotlight, and he found it was an insurance mod. So you had to insure your vehicles, and based on whether you were playing like easy, difficult, or hard, you insured them in different values. Kind of an interesting notion. I don't know how it worked properly, but apparently didn't play well with the damage mod. But I don't know. I checked out the damage mod at one point in time, and I'm like, it's a nice idea, but I'm pretty sure it wouldn't matter what you did, you'd probably take damage. And as I'm sure some people have figured out. Like, I think Grant from Scottish Gaming Guys played with it, and that's basically what he found. He thought it was rubbish, basically. I don't know if... I think those were his words. I can't remember offhand, but it's, you know, it's a nice idea, but the implementation is a little off. Because I think it's just like a 0 and 1 value where, oh, you dropped X number of meters, so then you take damage, but it wasn't didn't always make sense because if you went over a curb, sometimes you would take damage, and then you would, in that situation, you would lose some damage or gain some damage on your vehicle, and then you have to pay for it. So stuff like that just seemed a bit odd. So just one of those things, I guess, but that's just the way it is. Like, I looked at it and I was like, not so interested in that, so that was just my feeling, at least. Alright. I don't think I've picked up any new mods. Let's just check. Horses on sale. Excellent. No new tractors, except for this one. That's the only new tractor I've picked up. And I would like to get this one, actually, because it's I checked it out and it's pretty cool, but the Fent comes first. I think that was the only one. And that one. I think I mentioned both of those already. Perfect. He's full. Let's do one more load here. We'll just go the same way we came. It's funny, now that I've played this map for a little bit now, I kind of realize where certain things are without having to open up the map all the time, but it took long enough, jeez. Well. That is what it is. Alright, so let's sell this. This will put us for sure over the top as to how much we need. So we'll be able to go from there, basically. Be able to buy the field, finally. And I could, I suppose, sell the rest of the silage. Whoa. I could sell the rest of the silage and see how much money we got from that. And I'm surprised it didn't hit one of those posts. I could sell the silage and see how much we get from that, but I'm honestly not sure how much money we would get. And I don't think it would be enough money to get the Fent right off the bat. That might take a little bit of time. Well, a little bit of time between like now and then, so we'll see. I didn't see any great demands coming up for pigs, which is where the money's at for us in this map. So if one does come up, you better be pretty darn sure we are going to capitalize on that. That is for sure 100% going to happen. Like right now we only have about 100 pigs or so. But as soon as I progress time to the next day, then you get, I think it comes out to be about 250 pigs. Something in that area. I just accelerated time to get rid of some of the silage that's in there, if you're wondering. Alright, let's back this up here. There we go. There we go. We have enough money to buy that field now, finally. Excellent. This is very good. We're not going to pay back our loan yet. Field 37, where are you? $502,000. Boink. Excellent. Now we have $18,000 left still. This is good. So, let's go back to our farm and then go from there. I wonder where this goes. It just takes the road. Huh. Don't know why I don't do this more often. That seems like a lot easier than... Oh, this goes... Okay, that's why I don't do it. Because that goes into town. And I don't want to go into town. Gotcha. Going to town with a big rig like this is not... actually, this one's not that big. If I had the Cornhusker trailer, that would be a big rig. But this one's pretty small, in comparison at least. So, 18,000. Can't do a whole lot with 18,000, I'll be honest. Can't buy that Fent yet. But we do have a whole field of corn we can harvest, actually. Now that I think about it. Whoa, now. Yielded. Good. So we do have the whole field of corn now that we just bought. So before we didn't harvest the corn because... oh, it's close. Sorry. Not really. I don't even want to wait for them. Oh, that's terrible. I shouldn't do that. That's not what you do in real life, but... when you can just, you know, make the cars, like, fly all over the place and there's no consequences. Like, if there were consequences, totally would have, you know, not done that, but... I just didn't want to wait for the cars because they can take their time sometimes on this map, and that's not cool. Alright, how much do we have left? Let's just check to see how much silage we have left. We've only used about 100,000, less than 100,000 liters, so it should be another 200 and something, 250, yeah. You can be turned off. Yeah, 72%. So that would give us another, it's about 18,000 a load or so, which still wouldn't be enough for the Fent if I were to sell all of this silage. Like I said before, I don't want to sell too much of the silage because it's kind of like we actually use it. But the other reason why I don't want to use it is because it's a bit cheaty to sell the silage, but it is part of the game, so just playing along. Alright, so what I think I'm going to do is go stop the episode there for now. I don't know how long it's been. Maybe half an hour, 40 minutes, half an hour? I don't know. The reason why I'm going to stop there is because I don't want to get started harvesting the field and not and just, you know, start midway through it. So what I'll do is I'll stop the episode stop the episode for now, and we'll come back next episode and we'll harvest ourselves some corn on our brand new field. Is he finished? Or no, did I just bring him here? Yes, I think I did. Oh. I was gonna say, I was like, why is he just sitting there? That was weird. Oh, let's adjust our steering wheel first. There we go. That's better. Let's move him out of the way. I think what would happen is we just filled him up and just filled them up and left them there for the time being, just because we were doing other things. So what we can do, like I said, is we won't do this episode. Next episode will be a corn harvest. Yeah, and we'll see where we go from there, because we do need to get a Fent. We haven't got a Fent in a while, so it's a good time to get a Fent. We got some John Deeres before, but we haven't gotten too many Fents, so... Is this guy still running? Apparently he is. Whoops. We haven't got any Fents, so we'll go do that soon. Alright, so that's it for today, folks. My name's Iain Robson. This has been Farming Simulator 2013 on the Bayern Farm. Catch you guys later.